every day. Many of us take vitamins to boost our energy, support our health, or simply to cover the gaps when our meals aren't quite balanced. And on the surface, that sounds like a smart move. But here's something important we often overlook. Not every vitamin is a friend to our muscles, especially as we get older. And more doesn't always mean better. In today's episode, we're going to take a closer look at some familiar vitamins that may seem harmless or even beneficial, but when taken the wrong way or in amounts beyond what our bodies actually need, they can quietly work against us. From leg weakness and tingling sensations to poor balance and a greater risk of falling, the effects can build up slowly over time. If you find this content helpful, we'd love your support. Just click the like button, share this video with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel so we can keep bringing you practical, trustworthy health topics made just for older adults here in the US. Now let's dive in. Our first vitamin might sound familiar. It's often praised for keeping our skin and eyes healthy, but when taken in high doses, it can slowly weaken both muscles and bones in ways we don't always see coming. 1. Vitamin A. Among the vitamins that older adults tend to focus on, vitamin A is often at the top of the list. It's known for supporting vision, improving skin, and boosting immunity. And yes, our bodies do need vitamin A. But the issue here isn't about getting too little, it's about getting too much. More specifically, too much from high-dose supplements, especially synthetic forms of vitamin A, not the kind we get naturally from food. As we age, it's common to worry about fading eyesight, dry skin, or a weaker immune system. That's why many people turn to vitamin A capsules, hoping to stay ahead of those changes. Some products are even labeled with claims like support eye health or keep aging vision sharp. But what most of us don't realize is that the amount of vitamin A in some of these supplements can far exceed our daily needs, particularly when it comes to preformed vitamin A, like retinol or retinol palmitate. Let's take a closer look at how vitamin A actually behaves in the body, because this is where things start to matter. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that get flushed out through urine, vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means our bodies hold on to it, storing it in the liver and fat tissue. When we get just the right amount, that's not a problem. But if we keep taking in more than we need, especially from supplements, it slowly builds up over time. And that quiet buildup doesn't just sit there. It can start to affect our bones and muscles in ways we don't always realize. This becomes even more important when we understand the relationship between bones and muscles. Our bones aren't just there to hold us upright. They're the sturdy framework that muscles rely on for balance, strength, and movement. Every time we take a step or get up from a chair, our muscles are working against that skeletal foundation. But here's where things can go wrong when vitamin A levels in the body become too high. Studies have shown it can actually reduce bone mineral density. That means bones become thinner, more brittle, and easier to break. And for those of us in our 60s or beyond, the consequences can be serious. A seemingly harmless slip in the kitchen or backyard could turn into hip or spine fracture injuries that are difficult to recover from, and often lead to a loss of independence. As bones weaken, muscles lose the support they need. That's when we start to notice more leg fatigue, unsteadiness, or that feeling of struggling just to rise out of a chair. We might chalk it up to aging, but in reality, excess vitamin A could be quietly tipping the balance. And the trouble doesn't stop with the bones. Too much vitamin A can also interfere with how vitamin D works in the body. And vitamin D is absolutely essential for muscle strength and coordination. Both vitamins use overlapping pathways and cellular receptors to carry out their jobs. So when there's an overload of vitamin A, it essentially cuts in line, making it harder for vitamin D to activate the muscle support systems we rely on every day. That's why someone might get a blood test showing normal vitamin D levels, yet still feel unusually weak, unsteady, or low on energy. The vitamin is there, but it's being blocked from doing its work properly, all because of an imbalance that most of us never even think about. One 2024 study in JAMA drew a clear connection. Older adults consuming high levels of vitamin A in the form of retinol showed weaker bones and a higher risk of hip fractures. That's no small issue. A fractured hip at our age can mean long recovery, reduced mobility, and a serious impact on daily life. So, should we avoid vitamin A altogether? Absolutely not. Our bodies still need it, just in the right form and the right amount. Natural sources like carrots, sweet potatoes, dark leafy greens, eggs, and small portions of liver give us beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A. The body converts beta-carotene into vitamin A only when it's needed, which makes it far safer. Overdosing is unlikely from these foods. The real problem comes from overusing supplements, especially those that contain retinol palmitate, or retinol in high doses. Things get even riskier when we combine multiple pills, each with hidden amounts of vitamin A. That's how we unintentionally go over the safe limit. That's why the smart move here is to check your labels. If you're taking a daily supplement with vitamin A, look closely at the amount and type. In most cases, if our meals already include a good mix of vegetables and natural foods, we probably don't need extra vitamin A in pill form. And if we're taking something to support eye health or immunity, it's best to talk to a doctor or registered dietitian to make sure we're not overdoing it. We don't have to fear vitamin A, but we do need to use it wisely, because sometimes the things we think are good for us can quietly become a hidden threat to our strength and stability. After 60. 2. Vitamin B6. We've all heard how B vitamins, especially B6, are essential for our nerves, our energy, and even our memory. For older adults, that sounds like just what we need. And that's why many of us now take B-complex supplements, or vitamin B6 on its own, as part of our daily routine. But here's the concern when taken in high doses over a long period of time. Vitamin B6 can actually backfire, especially when it comes to our legs. B6, also known as pyridoxine, does play a vital role in many of our body's processes. It helps break down proteins, supports neurotransmitter function, and protects the peripheral nervous system. But all of these benefits only work when B6 stays within a safe range. Once it goes beyond that, it turns into a neurotoxin. And the trouble is, the damage doesn't show up right away. It comes on slowly, often without obvious warning signs. That's why many people don't even realize what's happening until real problems begin to surface. The way high-dose B6 causes harm lies in how it builds up in our peripheral nerves, the ones that control our hands, feet, and legs. When B6 levels in the blood rise too high, it starts damaging the myelin sheath, the protective coating around those nerves. Once that happens, the messages our brain sends to our feet no longer travel as smoothly or clearly as they should. And we all know how even a slight delay or disruption in those signals can throw off our balance and coordination. At first, the symptoms might feel vague. Some people notice numbness or tingling in the soles of their feet. Others describe it as pins and needles or a crawling sensation. Then comes a gradual sense of weakness, difficulty walking, or stumbling, especially in the dark or when going downstairs. Over time, it can feel like our legs just aren't as responsive as they used to be. And here's the irony: the weaker we feel, the more likely we are to keep taking more B6 in hopes of feeling better without realizing it could be the very thing causing the decline. The Journal of Neurology, Neurosurgery and Psychiatry in 2024 confirmed this exact link. It found that taking more than 100 milligrams of vitamin B6 daily over a long period was directly associated with peripheral nerve damage. That included loss of sensation, muscle weakness, and most critically severe balance issues in older adults. Now, it's important to note that this kind of risk doesn't come from food. Natural sources of vitamin B6, like salmon, bananas, chicken, potatoes, or sunflower seeds, rarely cause any problems. The issue is with high-dose supplements, especially B-complex pills or individual B6 tablets that contain way more than the body needs. Many of these are marketed as energy boosters, fatigue fighters, or nerve health support. But the dose can easily go over the safe threshold without us even realizing. A common misconception is that since B6 is water-soluble, any extra will just pass through the urine. But our bodies change as we age. Seniors don't process or flush out excess vitamins the same way younger adults do. Our ability to regulate vitamin levels, detoxify, and metabolize nutrients slows down. That means leftover B6 can linger in the bloodstream and start building up in the nerves, especially in an already sensitive nervous system. What makes this especially difficult is that once nerve damage from B6 becomes severe, it can be hard to reverse. And when our legs lose their stability, even everyday tasks like grocery shopping, climbing stairs, or simply standing for a few minutes can start to feel overwhelming. That brings us to what really matters now. If we're currently taking a B-complex supplement or any product with vitamin B6, it's a good idea to pause and take a careful look at the label. Whenever possible. It's safer and smarter to get B6 from whole foods, which offer everything we need without the risk of overdose. If we feel the need to supplement for nerve health, it's best to talk to a qualified dietitian or doctor first. There's also something else we need to stay mindful of. If signs like numbness, leg weakness, or trouble with balance start showing up, and we happen to be taking a supplement with B6, that's not something to ignore. Stop the supplement and get checked out. Catching the issue early can make all the difference in avoiding long-term damage. After going through these vitamins and minerals, one thing becomes clear: more isn't always better. Too much vitamin A can quietly weaken bones and interfere with vitamin D. High doses of vitamin B6 may damage the nerves, leading to shaky legs and poor balance. And excess iron can trigger oxidative stress, damage muscle tissue, and block the absorption of key nutrients. That's why the most important thing we can do is understand our body's real needs. Eat a variety of whole foods. Stay on top of regular checkups, and only take supplements when they're truly necessary, with guidance from a doctor or nutrition expert. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit the like button, share it with loved ones, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our upcoming topics. And what about you? Have you ever thought that vitamins are always a good thing? Share your thoughts or experience in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay steady, and stay well.